My 23F husband, 58M, told me he was going to South America and actually went to Europe. We have been together 4 years, married when I was 19. We have a prenup which benefits both of us, mostly, and we also own and operate a business together. I have caught him in several lies and confronted him about this general problem 2 weeks ago. He listened and told me he would not lie to me anymore and he was sorry. Bottom line, I was told that he was visiting Argentina with his special needs 14-year-old son, which I was okay with. He stuck with this story when he came back, and when I asked him about his return flight, he told me he took a direct flight from Argentina that flew directly back to the US where we live. This flight did not exist on any directories. Come to find out, he actually went to Rome. With his special needs son, who is in pictures with him, and his ex, they divorced 12 years ago, who helps care for his son. He said directly to me that it was a trip for him and his son only, but that his ex flew there to help them with a waiver only and did not stay the entire trip. This is not the first time I have caught him in a lie. In May, he told me he was just relaxing, and he actually went to a concert 3 hours away with said son and ex. I am done at this point. It is clear I cannot trust him and need to divorce. Do I tell him now or later? How do I even handle this? I have just wasted 4 years of my life on this man and don't even know how I should proceed. I'm so lost. Update. Wow, this really blew up. I have met with an attorney today and will confront my husband on Monday. My parents will be helping me pack my things when he is at work. Thank you to those that contributed meaningful advice and were helpful. Thank you also to those who offered kind words of support in a time where it was really needed. We'll update again after I see how Monday goes. You should have asked for relationship advice when you were 19 and was asked to be married to a 54-year-old. Tell him later, first speak to a divorce lawyer. 23 is extremely young still. Write off the 4 years as a learning experience, and maybe date within your own age range in future, as, typically, men old enough to be your grandfather won't see you as their equal. Another bullshit bait post. You already know the answer, least get yourself out of there. I hope this is a joke. This is grooming. My M29 girlfriend, F23, is pregnant and she wants to know how I feel about it. Do I tell the truth? My girlfriend just found out she is pregnant and she's understandably freaking out. She doesn't know what she wants to do and keeps asking me what do I want. If I'm being honest, when she told me, I was genuinely happy, but when I quickly realized she wasn't, I masked it. If she asked me last week, I would have shared my opinion that I want this baby, but a trip to Reddit stopped that. I kid you not, the day before she told me, I was on regretful parents. Never even knew it existed, and I was on this one post of this woman who wanted to abort her child, but then her boyfriend convinced her not to, and now she's stuck in this mom-wife life that she never wanted. And then the next day, my girlfriend finds out she's pregnant. She doesn't know what she wants to do at all. Like I mentioned, I know exactly how I feel about this pregnancy on my end, but when I consider her end, I feel like telling her that I really want this baby could be the selfish thing to do. My next birthday is my 30th. I already lived and went through my 20s. I graduated 8 years ago, I already bought my first house, and I went through your typical 20s experience, and I'm content with that. But for my girlfriend, it's like she's just starting out. I don't want her to end up resenting me, but at the same time I don't want to keep wondering what would have been if I spoke up. I'm not saying me solely saying I want to have this kid will make her have it, and I'm also not saying that me lying will make her not want to have this kid, but I'd like to know what to do. At the end of the day, I want to be supportive. I think you should be honest and tell her that you're happy. It could very well be that she is afraid that you aren't. Therefore she is behaving as if she isn't happy. Maybe if she knew your true feelings, she would be excited too. Tell her you're happy and that you'll support her whatever her decision is. Many years ago my now wife was late and brought it up. We were too young at both 22, but I told her I'd stand by her whatever she wanted to do. It turned out to be a false alarm, and then we couldn't have kids because of medical issues until our later 30s, but I think she needed to hear that I'd be there. You tell her exactly what you have said here, you would be over the moon to have the baby, but what's more important than that for you is that the baby is wanted by both of you and she doesn't make a decision she is uncomfortable with. If she doesn't want this at this point in life, you would rather her make that decision than go through with the pregnancy for your sake. A baby is a huge change and needs to be wanted by both. Chances are she either wants this but is worried you don't, or she doesn't want this but she can already sense you do and is thinking she doesn't want to disappoint you. I've been in a very similar situation recently. The best thing you can do is be honest but stress that the thing you want most is to support her, in whatever decision you both come to. Your girlfriend is kind of young to be tied down with a baby. Personally, I think you should let go of the idea of starting a family right now with her. It would be different if she were 29 and you 35 because then the phases of your life are more closely aligned. However, this is just the opinion of a stranger on the internet, so make of it what you will. Not telling her the truth takes away her autonomy of choosing. Like you are making up your mind on what is best for her, and feeding her what she needs to hear to reach that conclusion. Don't do that, please. Younger or not, freaking out or not, she deserves to have all the info and make up her mind accordingly. I'm 42F recently started dating a 44M and I am hella confused face with diagonal mouth. Edit. I want to thank everyone who has taken the time to respond. I love all the responses, even those that are kicking me in the butt. It's really given me a wake-up call and I have you all to thank for it. Heart heart heart. I'm a recently turned 42 woman and I just started seeing someone new who is 44M. At the beginning there was great communication. We did video chats and met for a date. We agreed it both went well and to go for a second. This is where issues started. We seemed to be communicating okay at the beginning of last week, and then he told me his car broke down and he needed to get it fixed. He apologized and asked to move our date, which we did. The time comes around for our next date, which was meant to be on Thursday of this week. I had not heard from him much, so I asked if we were still on. He said that he forgot to tell me that his kid, which he had shared custody, was back in town and wanted to see him. Of course I understood, but I told him I feel that there are several barriers stopping us from getting to know each other better. He replied that he had had a lot of personal stuff going on and apologized for the lack of contact. He asked to rebook our date and I said let's do in 2 weeks after your vacation with your kids. He was very thankful and felt this was helpful. The issue is, it's now been 4 days since he tried to contact me. I noticed yesterday that he liked one of my posts and created posts but has not texted me. Is he playing games with me? Would you wait 2 weeks to hear from a guy? Man, I'm so confused, lol. If he was interested in getting to know you, he'd be doing that. Keep him as an option. Shrug your shoulders and say, oh well, let's see what happens. Don't go out of your way but don't ghost. Oh, honey. You need to learn how to take a hint. He replied that he had had a lot of personal stuff going on and apologized for the lack of contact. Personal stuff? Kinda sounds like you are wasting your time. The ball is in his court to reach out to you. Don't dump him but assume that this relationship may not go any further. Don't put your life on hold waiting for that call. Start your search for someone other than him. 25 female. Seems like he, 27 male, grossed me out so he could have my half. I feel like he mentally does things that are messed up, but are things he can cover up. This is just a small one. Last night he asked if I wanted some steak he just bought. I said yes. When it was done I realized we were splitting one, which I was more than okay with. I was enjoying my slice, when he began going off with a speech of, I am so grateful God gave us meat. Like how cool is it, this is an animal. We get to slaughter these animals and eat them. He continued to repetitively go on about the animal. He realized I had a disgusted look on my face while chewing and had put my fork down. He began apologizing, saying he didn't realize I'd get so grossed out. Here's why I feel it was intentional. For one, he's been very bitter around the concept of God lately and he knows I am a believer, so the giving thanks seems fake and like a jab towards my beliefs in an undertone, snaky type way. And my other reasoning is I was vegetarian for 3 years. He was with me the entire time, he saw my repulsion towards meat and what grossed me out about it. He also experienced it himself for about 2 years and was vegetarian as well. We've discussed that I can still be sensitive with meat, since returning to eating it. This seems small, but please understand I am trying to determine just what is real and what is fake with this person. Should this be a red flag of character? This seems pretty manipulative and is definitely something I'd consider a red flag. I think you should be careful with this guy moving forward. How quickly after it was clear you weren't gonna eat it did he start eating it? He sounds like a spiteful ass. Why are you with someone like him? He doesn't respect you at all. No good moments in the relationship are worth being with a jerk with shit loaded to bear the moment it will turn a situation to his advantage. He seems toxic and passive-aggressive. Absolutely, that's a red flag.